All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do it well. And salutations and blessings to Akim that are pushing his word with truth, sincerity, and charity, and risk your lives to do so. First and foremost, the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, and many other false names. His only true name is Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. And Bahasham, meaning in the name, Ba'en Hadasham, name, which is the only way to get to the Heavenly Father, which is through his only begotten Son, whose name is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yeshua, and many other false names. His only true name is Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers. And that salvation and deliverance only pertains to so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the biblical Hebrew Israelites by blood. No matter what you believe, and you speckled birds that may look like the other nations, but your seed line, meaning who your father is, goes back to a so-called Negro, Hispanic, or Native American, which that will make you a biblical Hebrew Israelite by blood, according to Numbers 1 and verse 18, because you are whatever nation your father is. And the Ruach Kodash is the Holy Spirit, Ruach being spirit, Kodash holy, which is how we are able to do these lessons, go out on the highways and byways, and ultimately do the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's all done through the Ruach Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit, which is the holy angels. And today I want to get into this quick lesson, and I'm going to title it, Babylon will burn just as Sodom did. All right? Babylon will burn just as Sodom did. And the reason that Babylon is going to burn just as Sodom burned is because of the same things that Sodom was practicing is the same thing that's going on in Babylon, which Babylon I'm speaking of is Babylon the Great America. Okay, this place will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear missile fire. All right, just as Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed with fire. All right, the Lord rained down fire and brimstone from the heavens upon Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord is going to rain down fire by way of thermonuclear missiles upon Babylon and Great America. All right, according to biblical prophecy. All right, Revelation the 18th chapter, Isaiah the 34th chapter. All right, this place will be destroyed, man, and it will be turned to a complete and utter desert land, just as Sodom did. Sodom was turned to a desert land, to nothingness. The same thing is going to happen to America because of the same practices of utter wickedness, right? And even more greater wickedness is going on here, right? Why is it called Sodom and Gomorrah, man? Sodom was reigning rampant in that land. You know, people were man on man, woman on woman, all kind of sexual immoralities was going on, and the same thing that's going on in these times, man. So what do you think is going to happen to America? It's going to get destroyed. All right, you have, even more wickedness going on than it was back then. You got a man chopping off his rod, saying that he's a woman, getting his face changed, getting all type of hormones put it to his body to make him look like a woman, sound like a woman, and vice versa with a trans woman or a trans man, whatever the fuck, All right, this place is wicked as all hell, man. And just as Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed in the neighboring cities, the same thing is going to happen to America. Genesis 19 and 24 says, Then the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. So the Lord destroyed everything that was in Sodom and Gomorrah. There was not anything left. No animals, no greenery, nothing. Everything was destroyed. And that was an end sample for what is to happen to this land. So it says in any land that would practice those same things, it was just a prelude to what would happen to America. It says, but his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt, right? Because Lot's wife, she, she was looking back on Sodom and Gomorrah for all of the resources that Lot had, riches. All right, and she actually, didn't want to leave Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, so the Lord destroyed her right along with it, turned her to a pillar of salt, man. And that is what is going to happen to anyone that has, an affection towards this world. You are going to be destroyed with it, just as Lot's wife was. It says, and Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked upon Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And the same thing is going to happen to America. And we're going to get that Revelation, the 18th chapter. It says, and it came to pass when Yahweh destroyed the cities of the plain, that Yahweh remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. All right, because Lot was the only righteous man that was in that land. All right, the only righteous man that was in that land. That was the only man that was delivered out of Sodom and Gomorrah, which he was a representation of the elect, a remnant, a very small remnant that will be saved out of the midst of destruction. The only ones who are going to be saved here in America is the elect. Everyone else is going to be eradicated. All right, everyone else is going to be tormented with fire and brimstone, according to Revelation, the 14th chapter. For all those who bow down to the image of the beast, take his mark. All right, your ass is going to be left here to be burnt up and tortured here for a very, very long time. It's not just going to be some quick death. You get hit with a missile and then you in the kingdom. You're for you Israelites, you come back into the kingdom with that shame and contempt. You don't feel any pain. No, your ass is going to feel every single degree of that fire, man. Every degree. The Lord is a terrible power. He does very terrible things. All right, you people are going to see that very soon for siding with this beast. This is Revelation 18, and many of our people are going to do it. Look at them now, man. They hate us. They hate the way of righteousness, and they damn sure are going to pick, siding with this goddamn devil, man. So it says, Revelation 18. Get straight to the point. Verse 8. Really this whole chapter. But it says, verse 8, it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Right? So it was the same thing with Abraham. All right, Abraham seen the smoke of Sodom and Gomorrah burning. All right, and so are these kings of the earth going to see the smoke of Babylon the Great burning from afar off. All right, you're going to know that the Lord destroyed this place, man. Just as Abraham knew that the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, the rulers of these nations, they're going to know that the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, destroyed Babylon and Great America, because they're going to see the smoke. Okay, you're going to be able to see the smoke of America burning. That's how devastating this destruction is going to be, man. All right, and America is a big landmass. So you're to see that, you're going to be able to see that smoke, because the whole entire land is going to be destroyed, man. Not one part of America is going to be left without fire. Every single piece of this country is going to be hit with thermonuclear missile fire, man. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And it is going to come in 1 hour. All right, this kingdom is going to be cast down in 1 hour, man, quickly, swiftly, And that's going to be done by way of thermonuclear missiles and chariot fire. what you people call UFOs. Yes, UFOs are going to come and they're going to zap this place as well, man, right alongside those nuclear missiles. All right, so this kingdom is going to be destroyed. This kingdom is going to burn just as Sodom and Gomorrah did. And this is another precept to back that up. You can't get around this one. You can't get around any of them, but hey, especially this. It says Isaiah 13:19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. Is not America the glory of all kingdoms? This is the greatest kingdom to ever be set up on the planet Earth. No doubt about it. It says, and everyone, seeks after it. Everyone loves America. Everyone looks at America as being the end all be all of all kingdoms. We all have to come here, visit America. The streets are gold. That's what people used to think. It says the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So when America is destroyed, when Babylon is destroyed, it's going to be as when the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. We just read how the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. He did it by way of fire and brimstone. This time he's going to do it with thermonuclear missile fire. So this cannot be talking about ancient Babylon. It is impossible for this to be talking about ancient Babylon. This has to be talking about a future Babylon, which is Babylon the Great America. Because ancient Babylon was not overthrew as Sodom and Gomorrah was overthrew. Where are the records of that? There certainly would have been records of that, man. Certainly. Where are they at? Because it didn't happen. All right. It was a transition of power. It was a surgical strike, and that kingdom was taken down. Didn't happen by way of Sodom and Gomorrah. Destruction of destruction like Sodom and Gomorrah, fire and brimstone. So this is talking about a future Babylon. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. There are people dwelling in ancient Babylon right now. It will be the region of Iran, in that area. People are still dwelling there. People are still doing this. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. People are still doing that, making business, living there, setting up shop. So this can't be talking about ancient Babylon. This is talking about a future Babylon, which is America. Because when this place is destroyed, no one is going to dwell here anymore. No man is going to live over here. No one is going to be able to set up shop. No one is going to be able to build here. This is the only thing that's going to be in this land, America. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. An owl shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. Because America is going to be a memorial for what happens to all those that live their lives in total wickedness and rule in total wickedness. This place is going to be a total desert land, man, memorial, And there's going to be so much nuclear fallout, nuclear waste here. You ain't going to be able to live in this land. Nothing is going to grow here anymore. And we just read in that Genesis that the Lord destroyed all of the greenery, destroyed everything that grew there. Nothing grows in that area of Sodom and Gomorrah to this day. That's how much the Lord destroyed that place, man. And the same thing is going to happen here. Even worse is going to happen here. Because this is the most wicked and disgusting, evil place to ever be set up. So none is going to grow here. None is going to be able to. It ain't going to be no more rivers, water, none of that. All that shit is going to be dried up, man. So it says, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. All right, so you have, your White Houses. All right, you got all these beautiful places here in America that people look at as just being so magnificent. Look at it as being a palace, Well, all that is going to be a place for dragons to dwell, or a place for wild beasts to be at. Right? You're going to have tumbleweeds flowing where those areas once were at. It's going to be nothingness. That's what's going to come to America's beauty. It's going to be brought to naught. It says, "In her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged." The days of America will not be prolonged. So that mindset of our houses shall continue forever and ever, that shit is a dream, man. That is a vain imagination. As it says in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, you heathens are imagining vanity. None of that is going to happen. America is not going to go on to 2099. All right, the days of this place are not going to be prolonged, and we pray to the Lord that very soon we be up out of this place, man. And we see the fall of our enemy. We see the destruction of this place. That's what we yearn for. That's what we look forward to every single day we wake up. That's what we're looking forward to, man. Checking the news, checking prophecy to see how we closer to the end of this kingdom. Because we tired of this goddamn place. This is 2 Peter 2 and verse 6. It says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after shall live ungodly." So what do you think is going to happen to this place? You people doing the same shit, man. The same thing is going on in America. Man on man activity, woman on woman activity, man on child activity, woman on child activity. A man on dog activity, woman on dog activity, all kinds of sexual immorality, all kinds of just immorality, period. Niggas gang bang, niggas commit adultery, women commit adultery, whoredoms going on in this place, idolatry running rampant in this place. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man. All right, the Sabbath isn't practiced here. You just do whatever the fuck you want to do. So what do you think is going to happen to America? Is following the same example of Sodom and Gomorrah. It didn't look at Sodom and Gomorrah and say, you know what, we should not follow that. No, they looked at that and said, look, let's put that example. Let's play out this. Let's do this. You know, let's live this lifestyle, and that lifestyle is going to lead to thermonuclear missile fire. It says it delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. That's us. We're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. All right, all the filthy immoralities that these people practice on a day-to-day basis, the shit that they spew out of their mouths. You know, we're vexed with this shit, man. And that's why we want to get up out of here. All right, because on a day-to-day basis, you know, we're just highly irritated. Don't want to talk to nobody. Don't want to be around nobody. Because the only thing that you're going to talk about is wickedness. Our conversation is in the heavens. It says, "For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. Yahweh knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished." So that's what the Lord is doing to majority of these people. Which is why we'll be vexed with these people. We put curses on them. These motherfuckers still walking around, right? Still vibrant, you know. They still living their lives, but that's all. But that's really a curse onto them, man. Because that is just gonna lead your ass right to death, right to a even further judgment. Yeah, we can pray the Lord just destroy a nigga, have his ass get hit by a car, have him have a horrible car accident. But no. Let this motherfucker live out his life, do all kind of wickedness, take the MOTB, and then get hit with a nuclear missile. That's the worst judgment anyone can ever get. Far worse than anything that we can do to someone. You know, put a curse out, pray to the Lord that this happened to you, that happened to you. No, I pray your ass get hit with a nuclear missile, man. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen unto you. And that's what the Lord is doing to majority of these people, reserving them unto the day of judgment to be punished. So these people got a rude awakening coming. You're thinking that you're getting away with something, but you ain't getting away with nothing. And that's Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter. People ain't getting away with a goddamn thing, man. The Lord required that which is past. Isaiah 34 and may bounce around. Verse 4 says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So you're not going to see the sun. You're not going to see the moon. All right, because there's going to be nuclear fallout. There's going to be the heavens are going to be rolled together as a scroll. Look up a scroll rolled together. It looks like a mushroom cloud. And when a mushroom cloud hits, it blocks out the sun, right? Blocks out the heavens. There's going to be so much nuclear fallout. You're not going to see the stars. You're not going to see the moon. You're not going to see the sun. It's all going to be blocked out. It says, and all the host shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Look up a fig when it's ripe and it's about to fall off of the fig tree. It looks exactly like a nuclear missile. It goes that looping, U-like shape or N-like shape, to give a even more visual. It's like an N. Right? When a nuclear missile goes up, it goes up into the sky, is making that N, like form like what you call that, a rainbow, right? Then it comes down and it hits the earth, all right? And it causes that fire, it causes that destruction. And that's the best way that the prophet Isaiah could describe it. And if you're in the spirit, you can see it. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, which nuclear missiles, they sit in the atmosphere for a little bit, then they come down with that velocity, that speed, and it hits and destroys. That's what's coming to America. That's the sword of Yahweh Shem Shai. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. All right, Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right, the Lord is coming for you, Edomites. That's who he's coming for, man. And what is the main capital stronghold of the modern day Idumeans? Idumeans, all right, Edomites. America. Okay. Hey, what they say, manifest destiny. This is your manifest destiny. You're right. But it has a part 2, destruction, nuclear missiles. Yeah, the Lord set your ass up, man, to be put here right on this altar, and your ass be sacrificed for all of your wickedness and your evilness that you have done to the nation of Israel. It says, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Yeah, you're a cursed people. Look at your skin. Look at your eyes. Look at your hair. You're a fucking curse, man. And you will get your judgment all the way from Cain, all the way from the serpent. You're gonna get your judgment, and then after that, 1,000 years of slavery. Now, I'm gonna just keep going. It says, the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks and the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. So this is all coming for what you have done to the nation, for what you have done to the nation of Israel, man. All the horrible atrocities that you have done to our people in this land, the buck breaking, the feeding our babies to alligators, the mass beatings of our people, so on and so forth, just unjust killings, the list goes on and on and on and on for the wickedness that happened here in the land of America to the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American, man. You got to pay for that shit. That ain't just something that you just wipe under the rug. You just say, oh, this happened to all people. No, this didn't happen to all people. All people didn't just go into slavery like that, man. Destroyed us from being a nation. And then further, the Willie Lynch letter, that shit is still being played out to this day. The young against the old, the woman against the man, you know, just total destruction of our nation. You go pay for that, Esau. And all you fucking niggas that want to hold hands with this goddamn devil, you're going to pay right alongside this man. Because your ass is going to burn here in America as well, man. 2/3 of you niggas going to fucking die here. And you deserve it. You want to side with your enemy, you're going to die with your enemy. It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch. So all of the Great Lakes you got here in America, all that shit is going to be turned to pitch. And the dust thereof into brimstone. And the land thereof shall become burning pitch. So this when is Babylon ever, went through this, man? When has Basra went through this? when has Basra went through this? This is talking about a future event. This is code word for Babylon and Great America. And let me just show you how that's code word for Babylon. How that's code word for daughter Babylon. This is Psalms, let me see. Might be 37. Yeah. This is Psalms 137 and verse 7. It says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom and the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And that is when we, Babylonians came against us and, brought us down. Esau, Edom was right there with them, saying, raise it, even, furthering our destruction, and our downfall of our people. He didn't help us. He furthered it. All right, that's in the book of Obadiah, which shows you why this man isn't our brother. He is our absolute enemy, man. But it says, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast rewarded us. Right. You had it in your spirit to say, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So this man is the daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, and you will be destroyed, man. Esau, Edom, and Babylon are synonymous. For one, he is the king of confusion. He's all about confusion. He's all about, chaos, destruction. Okay, so he is Babylon, man. He is the daughter of Babylon, which would be a even worse and even more wicked Babylon. But it says, happy shall he be, which is us, the Israelites, that take it and dash it thy little ones against the stones. We're going to be happy to dash your little ones against the stones. And yeah, this is in the Bible, all right? For all these people who say that God is all about love, this ain't no fucking love right here, man. This is pure hatred. And yes, we have pure hatred for Edomites. We hate you. Just as you hate us, we hate you. Even more. I hate your ass even more, man. Because what's going to happen to you in slavery is going to far surpass what this man has done to us in righteousness. And then your ass is going to be totally eradicated, totally destroyed, man. America is a visual representation of the future of Esau, Edom. Desolation, nothingness, ruin. That is what's going to come to your nation. It's not going to be ever an Edomite ever again to walk this planet Earth. The Wadi Yahweh Shemal Shai for that. You motherfuckers got to go. This is Isaiah 34:9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. And it shall not be quenched night nor day. And this is a direct link up with that Revelation, the 14th chapter, which let me just get it. Revelation 14, which shows you that this is talking about America. This is talking about Babylon. This ain't talking about ancient Babylon. This ain't talking about the land of Basra. This is talking about America. Revelation 14 and verse 8. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone if you take that MOTB, if you worship the image of this beast. Your ass is going to be totally destroyed by the Lord, man. Tortured by the Lord. It says, hey, and the Lord's going to keep your spirit and your flesh down here to feel all that pain, man. Hey, just as that a visual of Sarah Connor in Terminator Judgment Day, Terminator 2. And she was a skeleton screaming. That's what the Lord will do to you niggas. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So this shows you that this is talking about Babylon. It's talking about America. This isn't talking about, ancient Basra, ancient Babylon. No, this is talking about this future Babylon, Babylon the Great. It says, Isaiah 34:10, and it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Literally forever. Okay? For eternity. No one is going to ever come over here and dwell in this land ever again, man. And that smoke is just going to go up for a very, very, very long time. This place is going to be burning for a very long time. It says, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. So that means that every area in this land is going to all look the same. You're not going to be able to tell the difference. You're not going to be able to tell New York from California, Wyoming from Chicago. This shit is all going to look the same, man. One flat ass desert land. It says they shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there. And all her princes shall be nothing. And the thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortress thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. All right, going right back to that Isaiah the 13th chapter. You're not going to have any, White Houses. You're not going to have any Empire State Buildings, so on and so forth. All these marvelous empires and buildings that this place has, all that shit is going to be brought down, man. All that is going to be turned to nettles and brambles. That's what's going to be your fortress. That's what's going to be your palaces. Nothingness. Ruin. Weeds. It says the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island. And the Saturn shall cry to his fellow and screech in Salaki. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. It says, there shall a great owl make her nest and lie and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, everyone with her mate. So America is gonna be turned to a desert land, man. Okay, so just as Sodom burned, so will Babylon burn. Same thing that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, the same thing is going on here in Babylon the Great. So just look forward to your destruction. Look forward to your ruin. And all you people that want to hold hands with this kingdom and further your wickedness in this place, you're going to burn with it. So, hey, I pray this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of great meals when I do it well. And salutations and blessings to you, Akim, that are pushing his word with truth, sincerity, and charity. Shalom, Kwam Yashar Allah, Wa Abad Babal.